Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode on SkizzleCraft. Today is episode 14, and as I said in the end of the last episode, we are going to get working on a bigger build today. So we're going to work in the Wind District, which we haven't done so far on the base, and we're going to get the Tower of Wind built. Now this, the idea is that this is going to be a kind of like a factory, but not a factory as you would think of it. Normally it's going to be a big tower, but this is going to be the source of electricity for the whole city. And the wind section, we're going to have wind turbines all around the place, out in the water. That's not going to be the whole of the wind district. We are going to have houses and everything in here as well, but we're going to incorporate all the wind power and everything in this section. And maybe when the server updates to 121, we can add a little bit of fun with the wind chargers, which I can't wait to get a hold of. Maybe it will include some redstone and we'll make it a little bit useful with it. See if we can do some of the wind charges. It might just be fun. I might just add tripwires and pressure plates around so people walking around occasionally get buffeted by a wind charge. That'll also be fun. But I want to get started on this. We do have the pathways in the other 3 sections all done, and I don't really want to do that until we've got the first building, the biggest building, put in, which is going to be the tower. Now I started marking out where the circle is here. I've not done the whole thing, but just to kind of see the size. As you can see, it's going to be a decent size, but not too big. It's not quite as big as the library we did over in the fire section, but this is going to be quite tall, so we're going to get started on this soon. Now, there's no resource gathering needed. I don't think. I have put this in a creative world, but I'm going to try and build it without kind of without using it. I might have to go back into to take a look at it, but I do have a screenshot of the building I've got in the creative world. I think I have enough with a little bit left over of all the resources we need. Now, there is going to be terraforming done, because I think, I'm not quite sure where the entrance is going to go, because it would make more sense to have it out this way, but I think I'd like to have a nice big path entrance. So I might do it from this section as the entrance to the tower, and then I'll have to do some terraforming around this bit, but that will come at a later date. But for now, we need to get started. So I'm going to just start with the frame first, which is in the white concrete. I need to clear all this stuff out my inventory first, and I need to sleep. I think we'll start with the white concrete frame first, and then we can do all the decorations. Actually, why I've got some of this stuff in my inventory, I think I'll show you what I've been trying out. We're just doing some little bit of testing because we do need lighting in each of the areas. And I did, in the earth section, just bury frog lights under the moss carpets on the path around the pathway. Let's sleep first. Yeah, so I did that in the earth section, but I would like to have kind of street lamps in each section that fits in with the theme. So I've got an idea for a street lamp using bamboo for the earth section. So kind of like the pole will be bamboo and then wood and then with lanterns. And I've got these lanterns for the fire area. So as you can see, I've got, if we just go into the free cam so you can see a little bit better, I've marked out where the lanterns are going to be. It does look quite busy when you see it like this, but if you think about when I've got buildings between each of them, they're going to be quite spread out, and I've tried to get them so they kind of alternate sides, and then on corners and stuff, and like where the road splits off in different sections, I've tried to make sure there's at least one lamp on each of the corners. But this is the design I've gone for, trying to fit with the colour theme. I do want the lanterns in because it just looks a little bit nicer, but I want to try and incorporate the fire in on the top. So I've just added the fire on top, which is on a gold block, just to bring a little bit of yellow in. I could try and maybe replace these with the red sandstone, but I think having the red orange and the yellow into it is a bit much, and we do have the orange coming in the lanterns and the fire anyway, so I like how these look. So I need to do a little bit more resource gathering because I've not got a lot. Well, I've got plenty of netherrack, so I don't really need to gather resources. I just need to smelt it because I haven't really got a lot of the actual normal nether brick. I've got plenty of the red from building that thing, but that's kind of what we need now. I've got enough gold blocks. I can head up to the gold farm if I do need more. But that's not a job for today. That's just a little thing I'll probably add off camera. But for now, we're going to head up and start building the Tower of Wind. This is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. I've got the design going. I just came up to have a quick look. It's looking quite good. I've marked out these pillars that I've been doing on the inside to the actual height. So I counted these out now to make sure it was what I've planned. So you can see we're about halfway. And there's a little bit more detail on the top because I don't think you can see it from this side. So if we go over here, see, it's going to be at a slant here, with this being the entrance. Now, I went up there to have a quick look and realised I did make a mistake, which we're going to have to fix. And there's two options. I can remove the whole thing, move it down a bit, and rebuild it, which is not going to happen. Or I can do some terraforming when the whole thing's built, and I think the terraforming is going to be a little bit easier. Now, the idea was that this is the ground floor and it's supposed to be level with the actual ground, which I thought one step up would be fine, or I could terraform a little bit. And I measured it from here when I started building. Only this isn't the entrance. This is going to be blocked off. This was just my easy access to chests. The entrance is on the other side. And that goes downhill, which is a bit of a problem. So you can see we're quite far off the ground, which then kind of ruins the entrance. Obviously, this isn't done. This is going to be designed, and then it's going to have a kind of archway in this section. Now, I originally had the archway as the entrance, so all of this would have been underground, but I moved it slightly up so we could have the flooring at this level. And then another floor at that level, so we can kind of have two entrances. Then we're going to have multiple floors just like this, and then we're going to have a pillar going up in the middle. But this bottom section was supposed to be kind of like the where all the power is, where all the power goes. It's going to be full of machines, and I'm going to decorate the inside of this. So it needed to be accessible but not completely visible, which is why it was all the way at the bottom. Yeah, so it's going to take a little bit of work to do. All this is going to have to be terraformed. This is all going to have to be raised up to this level or the next one. One of these two levels, which means it's going to connect over to there, and this is going to be a little bit of a steep section. Why have I got a hole there? Better. Yeah, so this is going to be a little bit, well, this is either going to be a steep section going up, just kind of like we've got over here, or I can pull this whole section of land out and have a gentle slope, but so it goes even further out here, maybe even all the way out to the water, kind of like in a gentle slope that way. I'm not quite sure how it's going to work, but terraforming is going to come last. For now, I think I need to take a little bit of break for this. It is getting late for me, so I'm probably going to have to do a little bit more of this tomorrow. But I'm not quite sure whether I'm going to continue it in a time lapse because it does take quite a long time. This is multiple hours of building it already. As you can see, the design's quite easy to follow because these glass sections just go up in an angle around in the circle. And we've got grey glass, white glass, and light grey glass. And then this white section around the outside is just like crisscrossing, and it just follows the same pattern. So once we built the first one, afterwards it's quite easy just to figure it out. With the main section of the tower built, I've got a little bit of decorating to do now. This actually turned out a lot better than I was hoping. It was a little bit difficult with this section to make it work because obviously this side needs to continue the pattern while this one needs to kind of slope upwards. We go on this side, you can see I continued the pattern slightly. Oh, I missed one. Let's fix that. There we go. So that continued the pattern across with the kind of crossing that connects to the white bits on the other side. So it took a little bit of figuring out, but I like the way it turned out. But the next thing I need to do is this entrance area, and then I need to go in and do the rest of the floors because I did put this one in just because it kept falling off at one point. But there's going to be multiple floors all the way up, so I need to put all the flooring in and do this entrance section. But I think I'm going to start with this entrance now, and this, as you can see just up here, is just going to follow this pattern like that. There's going to be some quartz steps. I think I missed some blocks there as well I need to put in. Yeah, but it's going to be like quartz steps and the same glass we've got in using the same colors, same design. And then just need to fix out these pillars as well. And then the entrance here, well, this whole bottom section I will sort properly when I do the terraforming, because this does need a little bit more details in it, but I don't want to do that just now until I know where the ground's going to be, because if I start detailing, the ground goes up and blocks it, then it's just a waste of my time. But first, let's get this section done. So with the entrance built, I need to do a little bit of editing because with the shape of these, I needed stairs, and because I've built the whole thing out of white concrete and there's no white concrete stairs, it didn't really match. You can see over here, we've got the quartz and the white concrete together. Doesn't really look very good. So I'm changing just this section out for quartz. Again, as you can see up there, just doesn't look right. So this is going to be quartz. Now the only problem is, do I use the smooth quartz like this, or do I use the normal quartz where you can actually see the edges? I'm not quite sure what looks better. I can't really decide. I'm kind of, for down here, I'm kind of going with this. I like the little extra texture with the lines, but up here I'm kind of going for the smooth. So I think, let's see, actually, if we take out, if I can use my pickaxe, if we take out these, we could just do a mixture. I guess there's not really any reason to choose one or the other. We need this one. So we could go for the normal quartz down here where the steps are, and then the smooth quartz for the pillar. Yeah, like that. I think that looks better. But then all these sections here will need to be the smooth quartz as well. But then all these sections here will need to be the smooth quartz as well, or it'll look a bit weird. having the lines on in some sections. I think anywhere where it's going to be a long row like this, we'll do in the smooth quartz. I'm not quite sure here. I might just alternate and do smooth on one side and the normal on the other and see which looks better, because these stairs are actually normal quartz stairs. If I remember, these are the normal quartz stairs and these are the smooth ones down here. So up here, using the normal quartz might still look good because you're going to have the lines in from the stairs anyway. So let's change this out and see how it looks. That's looking much better now. I've got this section up here with the smooth quartz in. It did look a little bit too busy with the normal quartz, with the kind of the squares around it, but just gives it that little bit extra detail, having the difference between the smooth quartz and the normal quartz stairs there. And for the pillars, I actually went out and got the, well, quartz pillars for these sections going up, and that just adds a tiny little bit more detail in, and I like the look at that. If I went in here, I also added the flooring in all the way up, all the different layers. You can't really see it from there because it's black, but if we go up, I need to grab some more rockets soon, but if we head up here, there we go. You can see the different layers and the different floors in there. I've still got a little bit more to do inside, which we're going to do in a minute, and then I need to do some lighting up because a lot of these sections here on the white concrete are actually spawnable. But since the middle bit is going to have a lot of end rods in, I wanted to do that first. Then I can see kind of where it needs lighting up, because this section here, as you can see, we've got a 3x3, if you can see it. Got a 3x3 here, and just around this is going to go up. We're going to have a bit of a decorative pillar that's going to mix the black concrete with end rods going all the way up. And then this section out here, we need to figure out how we're going to light it up. So I can either use lichen on the sections, like these sections here, so you can't really see it from the ground, but still lights it up, or I can do some end rods and give it a little bit more decoration. I think the lichen might work better, but it just depends how much it spreads. So we'll just have to figure this out. But for now, I'm going to grab the end rods and go in and start working on this. Now the idea was to use the black concrete, like I said, but I don't know if it's going to be too much with having this. I could actually use glass and add a little bit of colour into this. Well, not too much colour because obviously it's the wind section, so we need to stick with the colour scheme, but we could grab some more of the different colours of glass we've got here, so the blacks, the greys, the whites, and then integrate that instead, so that adds just a little bit more detail in the middle than just the black concrete. Over has got the end rods, forgot about that. But I think we'll do two sections differently, and just to see how they look and see which one looks better. So with the middle bit done, I'm liking the way it's looking. I did try a few different things just this first section. I tried glass, I tried to stick with the black concrete, I tried deep slates, and then I tried the glass, but I tried mixing it, and then I tried a single colour, and I didn't really like any of them. They were either not obvious enough that you could see it from the outside, or it blended too much. So I went with iron blocks. So if we come up here, I've blocked this section off because I don't actually want an entrance into the basement section. This is just going to be full of electricals and machines and industrial fans and things like that. So I want it visible from the outside, but not as an entrance. So I'm going to build some kind of staircase up to here at some point. I just need to figure out how it's going to work, because it's either going to need to come straight down onto this section, or have it curve in so it kind of goes around each side like this, which could be a good idea if I can get it to work properly. But for now, we'll just stick with having some scaffolding to get up and down, because I knew I wasn't going to get this whole thing done today. A lot of the decorations I can't do until we upgrade to 121, because I want to use a lot of the tough blocks, the crafter and things like that, well, they're just not available yet. But this is what we've got for the center. Now I do need to change this a little bit, because I did have the water elevator going up, as you can see, but I've just got rid of one of the water sources down there because going up was perfectly fine if you wanted to go all the way to the top, but it was really difficult to get off at the levels, so I'll need to figure out how to do the elevator up and down where I can actually get off in each floor if I want. Not that I'll be doing much in here that I actually need to get up and down for, but it would be nice to have access to it all anyway. But as you can see, if we go up here, it's going to be slow getting up, but we've just got the same all the way up, and then we've got a little entrance to each of the floors here. As you can see, it's still difficult without putting signs up, which looks a little bit silly. It's difficult to get in and out. But each of these floors, I've got a lot of space to be working. And these are going to be full of all kind of electronics and computers and just a little bit of everything. I've not got the whole thing figured out just yet, but we go all the way up to the top. Another floor there. And when we get up to the top, we've just got this here. I forgot to bring the frog lights. I'm just going to put some frog lights on top of these four just to finish it off nicely. This one, as you can see, we've got a lot more space. So up here needs to be a little bit more detailed. I might actually turn this into an office area because, of course, if you're going to have it full of electrical equipment, yeah, there needs to be people working here. So this is going to be probably our office, and we can have workbenches, computers, lots of other things, and we can have a little play about with the armor stand mod for that as well. But for today, I think this build is done. I can't do much more on this, like I said, until, oops, next floor up, until 121 is on the server, which should be soon. There hasn't been a message from the mods on the server saying they are working on getting it all upgraded. So that should hopefully be soon that we can get working on interior. We still have interiors to do over in the watermill. We've got houses without any interior. We've got the big, you can't see it, but that one. We've still got a lot of things to decorate inside there. A lot of those apartments aren't done. So the idea was just to like do all the bathrooms in one go and then do all the bedrooms in one go so I didn't get too bored. But we've still got houses laid out here that needs building. We need to build houses in all the other districts as well. And as you can already see, I've started laying out the roads for the wind elemental area. And when we get down here, as you can see, this has obviously got the river going through, so we're going to need a bridge going over here, and then from, actually, let's fly over there, it'll be a little bit easier. From this section here is where we're going to have a big bridge that's going to lead over to this corner of the pathway. So that is going to take a little bit of thinking, a little bit of designing to build a bridge that fits in here, that is big enough that it doesn't look abnormal over such a large space of water, but small enough that it's not going to like outshine things like the portal and the houses. But all that is plans for another day. We've got a lot of detailing to do. Lots of little things I want to do. Some of these houses I'm going to start building in between episodes because I'm just not going to have time to record every single building. Sometimes I can play for an hour while the kids are in the room when I can't actually record. So if I do any buildings off camera, I will show you guys at a later point. But for now, that is all I've got time for. I am hungry, so I need to eat. I need to grab some more food as well. Yeah, that's all I've got time for today, guys. So I hope you liked the video and let me know what you think of the tower. I'm really enjoying building the different styles and trying to fit in the different colour palettes that I've got in each section. It is fun to switch between them instead of just doing one district at a time. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like if you did like the video, and as always, comments are always appreciated. So see you next time.